Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to another episode of Daily Training in the Word, right here on DCP TV. And I remain your humble host, Daniel Feslan Yashirala. And today we are embarking from where we stopped at the book of Yahusha, Joshua, chapter 15, and we're taking it straight down to where Yah might lead us to. And it says, Then this was the lot of the tribe of the children of Yehuda by their family, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Sin. Southward was the utmost part of the south coast, and their south border was from the shore of the Salt Sea, from the bay that looked southward, and it went out of the south side to Amalia, Akrabim, and passed along to Sin, and ascended up on the south side of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Kesron, and went up to Adar, and fetched a compass of Karka. From thence it passed towards Atzmon, and went out unto the river of Mizraim, and the going out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast, and the east border was the salt sea, even unto the end of Yarden, and from the border in the north quarters was from the bay of the sea as the utmost part of Yarden, and the border went up to Beit Kogla, and passed along by the north of Beth Arava, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben, and the border went up towards Devir from Emek Akor, and so northward, looking towards Gilgal, that is before the going up of Adonai, not Adonai, Adonai, which is on the south side of the river, and the border passed towards the waters of Ein Shemesh, and the goings out thereof were to Ein Rogel, and the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom unto the south side of Yevuzi, and the same is Jerusalem, and the border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom east westward, which is at the end of the valley of Rephaim northward, and the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the mountain, and the water unto the fountain of the water of Nephtoach, and went out of the city of Mount Ephron, and the border was drawn to Bahala, which is Kriyat Jearim, and the border compassed from Bahala westward unto Mount Seir, and passed along unto the side of Mount Yeharim, which is Kesalon, on the north side, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed on to Timnah, and the border went out unto the side of Ekron northward, and the border was drawn in Shikeron, and passed along to Mount Bahala, and went out into Yavneel, and the going out of the border were at the sea, and the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof. This is the coast of the children of Yahuda, round about according to their families. And unto Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he gave a part among the children of Yahuda, according to Yahusha, even Kiriath Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. And Caleb drove thence the three sons of Anak, Shishai, and Achiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. And they went up thence to the inhabitants of David, and the name of David before was Kiriath Sephar. And Caleb said, he that smite Kiriath Sephar and take it, to him will I give Akah, my daughter, to be his woman. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Akah, his daughter, to be his woman. And it came to pass, as she came unto him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she lighted off her house, and Caleb gave unto her. He said unto her, what would you? Who answered, give me a blessing, for you have given me a south land. Give me also spring of water. And he gave her the upper spring, and the nether spring. This is the inheritance of the tribe of children of Yahuda, according to their families. 21. And the utmost city of the tribe of the children of Yahuda, towards the coast of Edom, southwards where Kav and Edar and Yagor. Damn, these names are hard to pronounce, but please just bear with me and read along. 22. And Cana and Dimona and Adada and Kedesh and Katsor and Yithnan and Ziph and Telem and Aloth and Kesor and Katsor and Kadatha and Kirioth and Kesron, which is Katsor, Amam and Shema and Maloda and Katsagada and Keshmon and Beit Pelet and Katsor Shual and Beersheba and Biz Yothya and Baalah and Iyim and Etzem and El Tolad and Kesil and Korma and Siklag and Madmana and Sansonah and Levauth and Shilkim and Ayim and Rimmon. All the cities are 29 with their villages, and in the valley Eshtaol and Sora and Ashna and Zanoach and Ganim and Tapuach and Nahim and Yarmuth and Adulam, Soko and Azekah and Sha'arayim and Adithayim and Gedera and Gederothayim, 14 cities with their villages. Senan and Kadasha and Migdalgad and Dilan and Mitzpeh and Yokteel, and Yakish, and Botzkat, and Eglon, and Kabon, and Lakmak, and Keith Lish, and Gederoth, Beit Dagon, and Nahama, and Makeda, 16 cities with their villages, Livna, and Ethna, and Ashan, and Yiphtak, and Ashna, so 42, Livna, and Ether, and Ashan, and Yiphtak, and Ashna, and Netzi, and Aquila, and Akziv, and Mar Esha, 9 cities with their villages, Ekron with her towns and her villages, from Ekron even unto the sea that lay near Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod with her towns and her villages, Gezer and with her towns and her villages, unto the village of Mishraim, unto the river of Mishraim, and the great sea, and the borders thereof, and in the mountains, Shamir, and Yatir, and Soko, and Dana, and Kiriath Kana, which is Devir, and Anav, and Eshtemoh, and Anim, and Goshen, and Colon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages, and Arav, and Duma, and Eshan, and Yanim, and Beth Tapuach, and Africa, and Afeka, not Africa, and Afeka, and Chumta, and Karath Arba, and Kiryat Arba, which is Hebron, and Sio, 9 cities with their villages, Maon, Carmel, Ziph, and Utah, and Yisrael, and Yogdam, and Zanoach, Zayin, Timnah, 10 cities with their villages, Kalkul, Bethsor, Gedor, and Ma'arath, and Beth Anoth, and El Tekon, 6 cities with their villages, Kiryat Baal, which is Kiriath, Yearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beit Arava, Midian, and Sekaka, Nifshan, and the cities of salt, and Ain Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Yevusim, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Yehuda could not drive them out, but the Yevusim dwell with children of Yehuda at Jerusalem unto this day. Chapter 16. And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from the Yarden by Jericho unto the water of Jericho on the east to the wilderness that goes up from Jericho throughout to Mount Bethel, and goes out from Bethel to Luz, and pass along unto the border of Arki to Ataroth, and goes down westward to the coast of Yavleti unto the coast of Beit Koron, the Nether, and to Gezer, and the goings out thereof are at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance, and the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus: even the border of their inheritance on the east side of Ataroth Adar unto Beit Koran, the upper, and the border went out towards the sea of Make Mekmetath, Mikmetath on the north side, and the border went about eastward unto Taanath Shiloh, and passed by it on the east of Yanoaka, and it went down from Yanoaka and to Ataroth and to Naaratha and came to Jericho, and went out at the Yarden. The border went out from Tappuach westward unto the river Kana, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim by their family, and the separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages, and they drove not out the Canaanim that dwell in Gezer, because the Canaanim dwell among the Ephraimites, the Ephrathim, unto this day, and serve under tribute. For those of you actually who might not really know much about this, if you go to the book of Uzi, take your time and read the book of Uzi, then you will see how the children of the Ephraim, got themselves mixed up, entangled with the pagan lifestyle of the heathen. That was why I read the book of Uzi. It keeps mentioning the children of Ephraim, counting them as Gentiles. Just because the Gentiles that they are allowed to stay with them, the Canaanites, they end up taking the lifestyle of the Canaanites and becoming a Gentile too. Chapter 17. There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, to wit, for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. There was also a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh by their families, for the children of Abiezer, and for the children of Kelek, and for the children of Asriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Shephar, for the children of Shemida, and these were the male children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, by their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Shephar, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters. And these are the names of his daughters: Makla, and Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirsa. And they came near before Eleazar the priest, and before the Yahusha the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, Yahuwah commanded Moshe to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandments of Yahuwah, he gave them an inheritance among the brethren of their father. And there fell 10 portions to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side of the Yarden, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his son, and the rest of the land, and the rest of Manasseh's son had the land of Gilead. And the coast of Manasseh was from Asher to Mikmethath, that lies before Shechem, and the border went along on the right hand unto the inhabitants of Tappuah. Now Manasseh had the land of Tappuach, but Tappuach on the border of Manasseh belongs to children of Ephraim. And the coast descended unto the river Kana, southward of the river. These cities of Ephraim were among the cities of Manasseh. The coast of Manasseh also was on the south side of the river, and the outgoing of it were at the sea. Southwards it was Ephraim's, and northwards it was Manasseh's. And the sea is his border, and they met together in Asher on the north, and in Jishakar on the south. And Manasseh had in Jishakar and in Asher Beth Shan and her towns, and Jivleam and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Taanak and her towns, and the inhabitants, of Megiddo and her towns, even 3 countries. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of these cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. Yet it came to pass, when the children of Yasharel were waxing old, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, but did not utterly drive them out. And the children of Joseph spoke unto Yahusha, saying, Why have you given me but one lot and one portion to inherit? Seeing if a great people, for as much as Yahweh has blessed me, that hitherto. And Yahusha answered them, If you are a great people, then get you up to the wood country and cut down for yourself, therefore in the land of the Perizim and in the Raphaim, if Mount Ephraim be narrow to you. And the children of Joseph said, The hill is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are in Beth Shaan and Asin and her towns, and they who are of the valley of Israel. And Yahusha spoke unto the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, You are a great people and have great power. You shall not have one lot only, but the mountain shall be yours, for it is a wood, and you shall cut it down, and the outgoing of it shall be yours. For you shall drive out the Canaanites though they have iron chariots, and though they be strong. Wow. So you even know their strength, know their ability, but he said, though they have that, but you will see the begin to drive them out of that land.
For sponsorship, advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. So let us make it a wrap for today's episode. So let us go to the concluding part of today. Now we're in chapter 18. And the whole assembly of the children of Yasharel assembled together at Shiloh and set up the tabernacle of the assembly there, and the land was subdued before them. Now, I want to pick a part for you here. And this actually is speaking to all those, I repeat, to all those with the mentality of saying you want to start a particular building and you call that a camp. The scripture let us even know that even the tabernacle of Yahuwah back then was not on one spot. Whenever they journey, they disassemble it. When they get to where they are going, they assemble it again and erect it back. But today, you are just like the Christian church. You leave America, go to Nigeria, go to Ghana. You guys start one branch there. You start your own Christian church. You say that you are starting Hebrew camp. You're deceiving yourself. Verse 2. And there remained among the children of Yasharel 7 tribes which had not yet received their inheritance. And Yahusha said unto the children of Yasharel, how long shall you slack to go to possess the land which Yahuwah Elohai of your fathers has given you? Give out from among you 3 men of each tribe, and I will send them, and they shall rise and go through the land and describe it according to the inheritance of them. And they shall come again to me, and they shall divide it into 7 parts. Yahudah will abide in their coast of the Negev, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their coast of the north. And ye shall therefore describe the land in 7 parts, and bring description either to me, and that I may cast lot for you here before Yahuwah Elohim. But the Leviim have no part among you, for the priesthood of Yahuwah is their inheritance. And Gad and Reuben and half of the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan on the east, which Moshe the servant of Yahuwah gave them. And the men arose and went away, and Yahusha charged them that went to describe the land, saying, go and walk through the land and describe it, and come again to me, that I may hear cast lot for you before Yahuwah in Shiloh. Verse 6. And the men went and passed through the land and described it by the city. Describe it by the city. And describe it by the cities, by cities, pardon me, in 7 parts in a sefer, that's in the book, and came again to El Yahusha, to the host of at Shiloh, and Yahusha cast lots for them in Shiloh before Yahuwah, and there Yahusha divided the land of the children of Yasharel according to their divisions, and the lords of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the tribe and the coast of their lot, came forth between the children of Yehuda and the children of Joseph, and their border on the north side was from the Jordan, and the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north side, and went through the mountains westward, and the goings out thereof were at the wilderness of Beit Aven. And the border went over from thence towards Luz, to the side of Luz, which is Beit El, southward. And the border descended to Ataroth Adar, near the hill that lies on the south side of the nether Bet Koron. And the border was drawn thence, and compassed the corners of the sea southward, from the hill that lies before Beit Koron southward, and the goings out thereof were at Kiriath Baal, which is Kiriath Yearim, a city of the children of Yehuda. That was the west quarters, and the south quarters was from the end of Kiriath Yearim, and the border went out on the west, and went out to the well of the waters of Nephtoach. And the border came down to the end of the mountains that lies before the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is the valley of the Rephaim on the north, and descended to the valley of Nihom, of Hinnom, not Nihom, of Hinnom, to the side of Yevusi on the south, and descended to Arogel, and was drawn from the north, and went forth to En Shemesh, and went towards Gelilot, which is over against the going up of Adonim, and descended to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben, and passed along towards the side over against Arava northward, and went down unto Arava. And the border passed along to the side of Beth Kogla to northward, and the outgoings of the border were to the south bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of Yarden. This was the south coast. And the Yarden was the border of it on the east side. This was the inheritance of children of Benjamin on by the coast thereof round about, according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho and Beth Kogla, and the valley of Ketsith, and Beit Harav, and Semarayim, and Beit El, and Avim, and Perah, and Ophrah, and Kepha, Ammoni, and Ophni, and Geva, 12 cities with their villages, Givon, and Ramah, and Beeroth, and Mitzpah, and Kephira, and Motzah, and Rechem, and Yirpeel, and Tar Allah, and Selah, and Eleph, and Yevusi, which is Jerusalem, Givar, and Kiriath Jearim, 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin according to their families. Wow. Up to the most higher for that, we are able to at least dissect the scriptures. We can be able to read through and see what was written. Look at how Yahweh make ensure that when this actually has been shared, they share it accordingly. Only for the tribe of Lebanon, because Yahweh have chosen them to be his own, and that he will be their inheritance. So this will make it a wrap on this episode of the program. Yazoo again, we'll see tomorrow. Because from where we stop, which is going to be chapter 19. Yazoo, we start from chapter 19 tomorrow. So I remain your humble host, Daniel Yahusha. And with this, I say shalom and bye for now.